What if I told you that there are 3 specific words that tap into a man's deepest psychological wiring? Words so powerful they can shift how he sees you in just 24 hours. Not pick-up lines, not manipulation, but scientifically backed phrases that speak directly to the masculine soul. I've seen it happen. A woman says these words, and suddenly she becomes the voice he hears in quiet moments. The face that appears in his thoughts without warning. The presence he craves even when she's not around. Today I'm going to share these 3 words with you. But more than that, I'm going to show you exactly when and how to use them. Because timing isn't just important. It's everything. If you've ever wondered why some women effortlessly capture a man's attention, while others remain invisible, the answer lies in understanding male psychology. And by the end of this video, you'll have that power. As a relationship psychologist who spent over a decade studying attraction patterns, I can tell you this: men are not as complicated as we think. They're driven by specific, emotional needs that most women never learn to recognize, let alone fulfill. These 3 words I'm about to share aren't magic. They're psychology. They trigger neurochemical responses that create what researchers call emotional imprinting. When someone becomes permanently etched into another person's emotional landscape. But here's what most dating advice gets wrong. It's not about what you say, it's about what you make him feel. And these 3 words, they make him feel something primal, something essential, something he can't get anywhere else. Before I reveal these words, you need to understand the male brain. Neurologically, men are wired for 3 core emotional needs: to feel needed, to feel trusted, and to feel appreciated not just for what they do, but for who they are. When these needs are met, the brain releases a cocktail of dopamine, oxytocin and vasopressin. This isn't just attraction. This is attachment. This is the chemical foundation of obsession. The kind that makes you unforgettable. Most women try to capture attention through beauty, through being agreeable, through giving more. But the women who become obsessions, they understand that men fall in love through their emotions, not their eyes. They know that the right words spoken at the right moment can rewire how a man sees you forever. 1. I trust you. The first phrase that makes men obsess is deceptively simple. I trust you. But not just any trust, deep, vulnerable. Life-changing trust. When you say, I trust you, you're not just giving him confidence. You're giving him purpose. Psychologically, men are hardwired to be protectors, providers, guardians of what matters most. When you trust him, you're telling his subconscious mind that you see him as capable, reliable, essential. Here's the power. Most people say, I love you. But I trust you hits deeper. Love can be fleeting, but trust. Trust is earned. Trust is rare. Trust makes him feel like he's won something precious. The key is when you say it, not during good times when trust is easy, but in moments of vulnerability, when you're scared and you tell him, I trust you to handle this. When you're uncertain and you say, I trust your judgment. When he's doubting himself and you look him in the eyes and say, "I trust you completely." In that moment, he doesn't just hear words. He feels chosen, he feels necessary. He feels like the kind of man worth trusting. And once a man feels that way about himself through you, he can't imagine his life without you in it. 2. I need you. The second phrase is even more powerful. I need you. Now let me be clear. This isn't about desperation or weakness. This is about making him feel irreplaceable. Psychologically, men are driven by what researchers call the hero instinct, the deep need to feel like they matter, like they make a difference, like their presence in your life serves a purpose that no one else can fill. When you say, "I need you," you're activating this instinct. You're telling him that your life is better, safer, more complete because he's in it. Not because you can't survive without him, but because you don't want to. The magic is in the specificity. Don't just say, "I need you." Say, "I need your strength right now." Say, "I need your perspective on this." Say, "I need you to just be here with me." Watch what happens to his posture when you say this. Watch how his voice changes, how he looks at you differently. In that moment, he transforms from someone who wants to be with you to someone who feels called to be with you. And when a man feels called to your side, he doesn't just visit your life. He makes it his home. But here's the crucial part. Only say this when you genuinely feel it. Men can sense authenticity from miles away, and fake need repels them faster than anything else. 3. You amaze me. The third phrase creates the deepest obsession. You amaze me. This isn't just a compliment. It's recognition. It's seeing him not just for what he does, but for who he is at his core. Neurologically, when someone feels truly seen and appreciated, the brain releases massive amounts of dopamine. This creates what psychologists call a reward association. Every time he thinks of you, his brain remembers that feeling of being amazing, of being extraordinary, of being enough. Most women compliment men on obvious things. You're handsome, you're strong, you're smart, but you amaze me is different. It suggests that he's exceeded your expectations, that he's surprised you, that he's shown you something about himself that you didn't know was there. The power is in the timing and the reason. Say it when he's vulnerable and shows you his heart. Say it when he does something thoughtful without being asked. Say it when he handles a difficult situation with grace. Say it when he's just being himself, and that self takes your breath away. The way you handled that conversation amazed me. How you always know what to say amazes me. You never stop amazing me. When a man hears this, he doesn't just feel good about himself. He feels good about himself through your eyes. And once he's seen himself as amazing in your reflection, he becomes addicted to that version of himself. That only exists when you're around. Now, before you rush out to use these words, let me give you the most important advice. Authenticity is everything. These words work because they tap into genuine human needs. But they only work when you mean them. Use them manipulatively and you'll create the opposite effect. You'll lose his trust forever. Only tell him you trust him when you actually do. Only say you need him when that need is real. Only tell him he amazes you when he genuinely does. Because here's the truth. These words don't create obsession by tricking him. They create obsession by fulfilling him, by making him feel like the best version of himself, by showing him that in your eyes, he's not just another man. He's the man, and when someone makes you feel that way about yourself, you don't just love them, you become devoted to them. You become protective of them. You become obsessed with keeping them in your life because they've shown you who you really are. So here's your challenge. Choose one of these phrases and use it genuinely in the next 24 hours. Pay attention to how he responds, not just his words, but his energy, his body language, the way he looks at you afterward. Comment below and tell me which phrase resonated with you most. Or share a story about a time when words like these changed everything. In a relationship, if this video opened your eyes to the power of speaking to a man's psychology, give it a like and share it with a woman who needs to understand this. And subscribe, because I share the psychology behind attraction every week. The real science behind why some connections become unforgettable. Remember, you don't need to be perfect to be obsessed over. You just need to understand that the right words, spoken from the right heart at the right time, can change everything. The question is, are you ready to speak the language his soul understands?